the stud boy hole shot.
Oh, and we know when Tucker gets out early, he is one tough racer to catch.
Outside looked like, I'm not sure, I think that's Tremblay right on his tail, then Pauline. Here comes Peter Narsa as well. But you got it, Tucker Hibbert is out front and Tim Tremblay's got some work to do.
Now the thing is, this is a short track and it's very demanding. It's kind of a rough track. We talked about this in round number 11, that Tim Tremblay loves rough little racetracks. Let's see if he can run down Tucker Hibbert, or if Hibbert on this racetrack, once he's out front, is able to pull away like he normally does.
You know, not to make a mountain of a molehill, but I wonder if it's distracting at all to be out there for the first time with those windshield wipers going back and forth across your face, Mike.
You know what? Tucker Hibbert's out front, though. He has very little visibility issue right now because no one's in front of him.
Yeah, great points.
When you get out front and you don't have a visibility issue, there's not a lot of distraction there. You're able to focus on your line, you're able to pick lines, see what the track's presenting you, and really race your way around this racetrack.
He was the first to 100 wins. He was the first to 125 wins, and he's on the point right now. He is Tucker Hibbert.
Hibbert right now with a 1.2-second lead over Tim Tremblay. Then it would be Kyle, Pauline, Narsa, Renheim, Corin, Todd, and Andrew Carlson. That's the running order right now.
And Kyle Pauline off a tough night last night where we saw him literally forced off the racetrack in the first turn just due to physics. Having a good run here, actually was right off the line with Tucker Hibbert at the very beginning of this race, and right now running a strong third behind Tim Tremblay.
You see Tucker inside, swoop to the outside. Tremblay basically following the same line. That's a good shot there. You can see how they've developed this track, so there's two definite lines coming out of that Arctic Cat corner as you go down the backstretch, the U.S. Air Force flyaway. You can take that smooth outside line or be a little more aggressive on the inside. We'll try to watch these drivers, see what's the line of preference there.
5 laps to go in this Pro Open qualifier, and Tucker Hibbert has a 2.5-second lead. The defending and 10-time champion is out front on the 68. You see Tremblay right there, and Pauline in his screen just for a second. Now Tim Tremblay.
He went inside.
He certainly did, and he is our current points leader. And here is Kyle Pauline, the 324. We call him Senior Smiley for a reason. A happy-go-lucky guy, but not so happy after the races last night, and in round 11, I should say. Just a really rough outing for him in round 11 on this racetrack.
Yeah, he struggled. He, you know, like you said, he got pushed off the track not once. I wonder if it wasn't maybe 3 times that he was off the track, just due to bad draws. I mean, he was on the outside, and physics makes everybody push out. That's exactly what happened to him, and off the track he went.
Kyle Pauline out of Ironwood, Michigan, and we, of course, in Mount Pleasant, Michigan this weekend, so a home state race for him. Meanwhile, your leader hails from Pelican Rapids, Minnesota. That's the 68 of Tucker Hibbert.
You take a look after round 11. I believe Tucker came in 41 points out of the lead. He actually lost a little ground last night. Cody Cam, who we'll see coming up in the next heat, was 31 points behind it. Even though he won, Tremblay did exactly what he needed to do. Cody Cam was only able to make up 1 point.
Over the Amsoil finish line, 2 laps to go for Tucker. The T-Train running a smooth, effective race here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. But Tremblay's reeled him in a bit. The lead is now 1.2 seconds for Tucker Hibbert. Tremblay with an inside line right here. Then they'll drag race over the Air Force flyaway.
Boy, he shaved off 0.8 of a second that last lap. He ran at 29.204 to Tucker's 30 flat.
Out of the FXR turn, heads for the Amsoil finish line. The white flag will fly, and Tucker Hibbert's 1 lap away from victory, but Tim Tremblay says it's not settled yet.
Tremblay's going to have to find another gear here, though. He's running out of real estate and running out of time if he's going to try to make the pass. That pass is huge. Remember, you win the heat. It's an additional 5 bonus points in the points battle.
Tucker through the Air Force flyaway for the final time. Into the FXR final turn. The fans in the stands rise to their feet and cheer. The checkers in the air for Tucker Hibbert in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Tremblay will come across in second. Kyle Pauline, a very strong third place finish. And Peter Narsa and Adam Renheim will round out your top 5. The red light means They started too early.
And
the
young man from Norway may take and get to see what a start really looks like from behind the starting grid. Lincoln Lemieux here too.
Yeah. I don't know how many they'll put back there because I thought 3 sleds jump.
Well, you see the staging marshals going back there. They're going to be lining up some people in the back row. And the thing is that remember now they need to line up behind someone.
Take a look at this. You'll see the red lights go. Yeah, definitely Tim.
Both sides.
Yeah, there you go. Not happy with himself as Tim Tremblay, as you can see. So they will start in the back, and we'll give her a shot once again. I'm sorry, Lincoln Lemieux back there with Elias Ischel. My fault. Getting everything situated. There's a beam that runs right across the starting line. You break the beam, you go to the back row. Oh, they're going to move Tim, I should say Lincoln, over.
Yeah, I think that was, like we said, they have to be behind somebody, and he wasn't quite lined up the way that the staging marshal wants. So, boy, we watched a couple of races earlier today, and I know that Brendan going, I'll tell you what, he does a great job during the day bringing me those races. This guy took roost like you wouldn't believe. You couldn't even see him.
Once again, time to go green. In the AMSOIL Pro Open class, Heat 2 of round 1. It's in the starter's hands. They're racing in Michigan. And Cody Cam with the stud boy hole shot into turn 1.
Ross Martin right with him. What a great camera shot. Look at Ryan Springer. We talked about how he's come on. He has already shot his way up to second place.
Gets around Ross Martin before the first turn has ended. And right now he's trying to reel in Cody Cam. Cody has been on a rail in Mount Pleasant, Michigan all weekend long. And here he sits on the point once again.
3 Polaris is up front. Cam, Springer, Ross Martin. Then it's Nastala, Lemieux sitting in 5th, and Ischel bringing up the back of the pack. You know, one thing I noticed when we talked about Cody, you said that you seen the x-ray of his injury.
Yeah.
Watch what he's doing here. He's really trying to keep that sled low on the ground. You don't really see him catching a lot of air. That is really putting a lot of strain on his shoulders, those landings. So, you know, you can keep that track on the ground and keep it digging. It's going to be a lot easier on his shoulder.
Well, I'll tell you what I didn't see was Ross Martin getting around Ryan Springer. And now Ryan Springer, Lincoln Lemieux, and Elias Ischel are battling for 3rd back there. That's the best battle on the track.
That's the battle for 3, 4, and 5, and they were stacked all on top of each other here just a couple of moments ago. There you see Springer, and then it would be Lemieux.
That's right, the 541, the red and black sled. That's Ryan Springer in 3rd. And on the outside goes Lincoln Lemieux, but back up front, now here we got Cody Cam and the boss, Ross Martin, starting to reel in your leader.
Well, and I'll tell you, when Ross gets driven, he will charge harder than anyone on the racetrack. He sees an opportunity to make a pass. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
And the heavy horsepower to the AMSOIL finish line as Springer and Lemieux continue to battle for 3rd.
Ischel trying to get back into that battle, too, after having to start from the back row. And look at this.
Off the track goes Springer. Back on he goes. Lemieux makes the move. I'd call that a clean pass. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's fine. There's no harm, no foul there.
Lemieux goes into 3rd. Springer now in 4th, but he's not done dealing with this yet. Springer right back into the battle. So now it's Cam, Martin, Springer, Lemieux, and Ischel. And the lead for Cody Cam, if you're wondering, has stretched back out to almost 2 seconds again. That's why we're following the 3rd place battle right now, because this is the best one on the track, continuing as Lincoln Lemieux now starts to separate a bit. And before long, he's going to have to say something to Ross Martin, who's sitting in front of him right now. Back up front, though, Cody Cam.
There you see your leader, Cody Cam, out front. As Hawk said, not quite 2-second lead. We'll watch as the interfolds come up just about the same. Yeah, they ran just about identical lap times, Cody and Ross last time, 30.48 and a 30.46. So finding good lap times around this racetrack, almost identical lap times.
I talked to Nate Hinchus last night after the big win, a little celebratory time in the fine facility here at Soaring Eagle. I'll tell you, Nate said Cody obviously was injured. injured, but sometimes an injury like that really focuses a guy.
It does, because you try to focus more on the racing than you do on the injury. And by doing that, sometimes it drives you to be a better driver. You make better decisions out there, and things just seem to go smoother on the racetrack for you.
Well, the Hinges Racing Trailer making all the right decisions so far here in Mount Pleasant. A win in round 11 and right now leading the Pro Open qualifier this afternoon.
Cody mentioned that he'd spent a week out in California in rehab trying to get his shoulder back in shape. The thing is, when we get done here, very short period of downtime as we head right to Dubuque, Iowa for next weekend's event. That would be rounds 13 and 14. Then they'll have a couple of weeks off while they get ready for the grand finale. But, just like I said, it's more evident than anything. Trying to keep the sled low, trying to take as much strain and pressure off that shoulder as possible.
Pete Osborne was telling me a little bit ago that Cody's actually hurting a little worse today, but they know, per the doctor's sources, the injury can't get any worse. So if he can deal with the pain, he can stay out front and continue racing. And right now he's dealing with it very well. In fact, we're white flag here. We've got 1 lap to go, and Cody Cam has built the lead to almost 5 seconds now.
Laps continuing to count down as they work on that final circuit.
Into the FXR turn. Makes his way out of that turn, heads for the AMSOIL finish line. And the checkers will fly. Cody Cam will win this Pro Open qualifier. Like Ross Martin will hold on for second. Lincoln Lemieux will come across in third.
And that's huge for him because he'll get the 5 bonus points. Plus the win will give him 12 points, whereas Tim Tremblay took a second. And so he should have made up probably about 7 points there in the points battle.
And they are racing! Into the turn they go, 9 sleds, and they are bouncing off of each other. Looked like Jacob Yerk got the stud boy hole shot.
Yerk racing out of Christian Brothers Racing this year on that Arctic Cat. He did get the hole shot. Palayan second, then it's Adams, Anderson, Wallenstein. I stand corrected, my apologies. Kinney, Katu, Muller, and Berglund.
You can say this about almost every heat, but this Pro Light heat is exceptionally stacked with talent. Oh my!
Welcome.
Tyler Adams.
Who else is in there?
I can't tell. Let's see.
You got the.
I believe that's Kinney. So Tyler Kinney right there as
Berglund
well.
Also in there.
So they get those things unattached as quickly as possible, but the racing continues.
And I'm a little concerned because I've seen Kevin Wallenstein off the racetrack kind of holding his arm and wrist. There's his sled. You can be sure that the FXR mobile medical team will be over there to help check him out.
Absolutely right. Take good care of him, guys. Jacob Yerk, Aki Palayan continue to battle on the racetrack. Then Travis Muller, Corbin Anderson, Cole Katu. That's your top 5 right now. The 727 of Jacob Yerk out of Grand Blanc, Michigan for Arctic Cat and AMG Peterbilt plus Doc. Also Country Cat as well, one of our sponsors.
And yellow flying in that corner because Kevin's Skidoo is sitting there. They haven't had an opportunity to get that out, so they've got to really check up in the corner till they're able to move that machine.
Once again, your leader Yerk, but in second, Aki Palayan continues to be Mr. Consistent. We talked about it ad nauseum in round 11, but it's the truth. Aki seems to be on the podium every week. And that's why he's your points leader. Through the corner. The 727 continues to lead. 2.5 laps to go here in Heat 1 of round 2 of the Pro Light Division. Palayan, Muller, and then Corbin Anderson, Cole Katu, 5th. Through the FXR turn once again.
Coming in this round into round 12 here, Aki Palayan had a 57-point lead. We talked about consistency. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. I mean, there's no bonus points for a win here. Right now he would take 9 points compared to 10 points for a win. He just got to stay right where he's at, stay what he's doing, being consistent, keep challenging. If the opportunity presents himself, get to the top of the box. But good riding by the driver out of Finland.
Man, I'll tell you, the opportunity might very well present itself. We got a lap and a half to go, but he has definitely reeled in Jacob Yerk. They'll hit that AMSOIL finish line. The white flag will fly. Here comes Aki Palayan.
Palayan on the inside. He's going to cut down back underneath. Nope, didn't quite have the position. So Yerk's still out front.
Inside line. Yerk tries to cut him off. They bounce a little bit, and down the backstretch they go. Half a lap to go in the Pro Light qualifier here.
He's that U.S. Air Force flyaway. He's got two corners, the FXR corner. He'll come around the Ram corner. Here comes your winner.
The win in the checkers will go to Jacob Yerk in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Aki Palaya comes across in second. Looks like Travis Muller will hang on for third. About to go green. P2 round 2 Pro Light in the starter's hands. Uh-oh, uh-oh. The red light.
Danny Poirier.
Danny Poirier. Well, the whole shot means everything, you know. So he'll go into the back row. It looks like just he will go into the back row. I saw Ango jumped a little bit as well, but I don't think they're going to penalize him. Or are they?
Well, he's making the move unless they're going to let him go around and restage. I'll tell you in a second.
Let's see what happens. Oh. Uh-oh. Yep, he's going to the second row, guys. And look who he's lining up behind. Uh-oh. The storyline continues to develop.
There's good days and there's bad days.
Yep. Don't look behind you right now, Zach. Don't look back there.
Look at him, Jay.
Don't look back
shaking
there.
his head.
Don't look back there.
Really? That's not Zach saying,
No.
no.
What
Those guys are doing is trying to get some air to move through their goggles so they don't fog up on them.
It's back in the starter's hands. They're racing in Michigan. Oh, man. Was that Montana Jess with the stud boy hole shot? Ooh,
right
move it,
ass.
cameraman. I think we'll give the stud boy hole shot to Montana Jess, but the lead goes to Daniel Benham.
Yeah, Jess right behind him. Then it's going to be Zach Patton right behind him.
Zach Mason.
I'm sorry, Zach Mason.
They head down the backstretch. Sleds everywhere. And Benham and Jess head for the FXR turn.
Boy, Montana Jess charging hard.
Man, look at the roost.
Remember, these two sleds are different. Benham's on the new Arctic Cat. Montana Jess in New York decided to go back to last year's Cat. He's felt more comfortable on that sled. We've seen it in his riding style. He's a lot more aggressive and assertive on last year's sled.
Mike, first and second, Benham and Jess. Guess who's third and fourth?
Third and fourth would be, they're just trying to make their way around here.
Zach
Mason and Jake
Ango.
And there's about 0.7 of a second between the two of them.
There are. You see him? There's Mason. Wow, look at the roost. The lead continues to be Benham, though, and he is really flying, literally, right now. Mason starts to reel in Jess in second just a bit as Benham separates the two of them right now.
Mason sitting there in third. Ango trying to work his way up into fourth.
Your leader almost off the track there for a moment. Gets right back on, Mike, but he was riding the very edge of the turn right there.
You know, the track has changed a little bit. They've worked a little of the snow to the outside. It's not quite as flat as it was in round 11, but still, you've got to be very cautious on your entry speed into these corners that you just don't overextend and possibly come off the track. Here comes Angove.
Angove behind Zach Mason. But he races very cleanly that time. You know, I'm sure those guys get along very well. Maybe had some thoughts there at the in the last race.
You still see Montana Jess.
Oh, here you go.
There you go.
Oh no! They got together again.
They both got together.
And off the track goes Angove. And Zach is literally stuck to the sled who came in there behind him.
Well, and the problem is that the driver behind him, one of the skis from his sled went into the tunnel, and that can really be ugly to separate.
Let's talk to Kate Osborne for a moment about this. Kate?
Man, I can't imagine what this conversation is going to be like after this race. I was actually in the hauler with Zach when Jay came in to apologize for the incident earlier. But right now you can tell that there's going to be a conversation. A good thing they're both okay, but
yeah. But then there's no intent there. That's
not
just a racing
I agree with you
incident.
100%. I'm not sure, but still, when you get together with the same guy again, it gets even more hard to deal with. It just does. Meanwhile, Daniel Benham is up front and a good solid 2-second lead over Montana Jess. Through that Air Force flyaway for the final time into the FXR final turn. Heads for the AMSOIL finish line, and the checkers and the win will go to the 221 of Daniel Benham. Montana Jess will come across in second. I think Marcus Oakmar held him. Yes, he does. Comes across in third. Then Blanchard, Jacob Blanchard, and Jake Angove gets back on the sled and back on the track and finishes fifth. That will absolutely, sorry Mike, that'll definitely put Zach Mason into the LCQ.
Yep.
And they are racing. What a start. Was that Evan Dowd? Somebody on the, yeah, I believe it was.
Dowd on the
The stud boy hole shot to Evan Dowd. He could not have timed that line more perfectly. That was John Force-like off the line that time.
Dowd, then Travis Kern right behind him on the 201 Artie Cat. Mullen, Nicholas Lorenz sitting in fourth, and you see him come into your shot there. If you remember in round 11, he DNF'd in the final. I talked to Scott Judnick this afternoon. He broke the crankshaft in his motor.
Oh my.
And he looked at me and Juddy goes, new motor today.
There you go.
New motor today.
Well, I'll tell you, and Mike, let me ask you a question here, and maybe it's impossible to answer this question, but Evan Dowd won round 2 in New York. Zach Mason won round 1 here in Michigan. That's back-to-back wins for LaValle Racing. Now we see Dowd out front here. What are they doing in that trailer right now that's got these sleds so fast?
You know, it's just, you hit and miss on these things. You know, they've both got really good people working for them. You know, you talk about Glenn Kafka and all the guys that are in Levi's trailer and, you know, all the guys working in Evan's trailer and stuff like that. You experiment, you work, you tune, you train and stuff like that, and you come across something that works for you. It just is something that puts you out in front.
Kate, you had something too.
I actually asked them that exact question. I asked Zach and Casey, his crew chief there, that same question. What is working between you guys? You had Evan winning and Zach, and he goes, you know, winners surround themselves with winners, and when you have a good group, everyone's working really well together.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And Zach wanted me to say that was a combo of Casey and Zach quote.
I like that. That's great. Fantastic. So up front, we still got Dowd, but Travis Kern, Nicholas Lorenz battling.
Yeah, Travis Kern on the Artie Cat, the 201 rider. He is out of Palisade, Minnesota, which is right about in the middle of the state, just up in the Grand Rapids area. I'm sorry, Park Rapids area. Ooh. And here comes Nicholas. Nicholas, of course, first-year rider in Pro Light, racing with Judnick Motorsports.
Wow, the horsepower on that Polaris came out of that corner almost too much for him. Incredible. It's Dowd, it's Kern, it's Lorenz, then Martin Mullen, James Johnstead. That's your top 5 right now in this Heat 3 round 2 of the Pro Light division.
2 laps left to go as they continue to make circuits around this racetrack.
Man, I'll tell you, Lorenz is all over this racetrack right now.
Yeah, Kern doing a pretty good job holding him off right now, but one little bobble and Nicholas is going to capitalize on Travis's air.
And over the Amsoil finish line, the white flag flies.
1 lap.
1 lap to go for Evan Dowd, Travis Kern, Nicholas Lorenz, your top 3 right now. Evan Dowd out of Longville, Minnesota for LaValle Racing, Polaris and FXR. Then in second, as we mentioned, Travis Kern. Kern out of Palisade, Minnesota for Arctic Cat. And out of the final turn, the checkers will fly and the win will go to Evan Dowd on the 413. Travis Kern, Nicholas Lorenz, second and third. You got Martin Mullen, a good run for him. He came across in fourth. James Johnstead out of the FXR final turn. Johnstead will come across in fifth, and that will do it for your Pro Light heat races.
What's that sound?
And they're racing. And into turn 1 they go. Is that a... Oh, no. It's like Daytona on a Friday night out there.
There we go. 357. That is the machine of
Brad Meyer.
Brad Meyer that got tied up.
And
meanwhile, out front, Kurt Ballerty goes,
see you.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
That's too bad that had to get tied up back there.
So Kurt, I believe his brother might have been involved in that accident as well. Let's take a look at what happened here at the very first turn.
Kurt got a lot better launch than Paul. Watch them when they come in. Yeah, just kind of, somebody skipped across. Wonder if that wasn't the 811 machine of Patrick Brodeur.
Oh boy, oh boy. That's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, nothing real hard there. That's the good thing.
Josh had him, though. Did you see him running out there to take care of it all?
Man, I'll tell you what,
nice
those
job.
guys, the Camera 5 guys, they double as safety specialists.
Absolutely they do. Down the stretch they go. Kurt Bowerly continues to be your lead. Here's the battle for second, though. Corey Teen and David Blunt, who's beautiful. Is that David Blunt who sings that song? I think that's James Blunt, now that I think about it. Yeah. But he's still beautiful. Into the FXR turn.
James is
now
running
there's,
an 8.
Now there's another sled there.
That's the 24 sled. That is Paul Bowerly. So now Paul trying to move his way up. Boy, look at him take and go big.
He makes the move, and now into third. On the outside of the 138. Ran out of room and forced his way through, and we've got a new second-place rider. So it's Bowerly, and Blunt. Sounds like a law firm. Back up front we go. Kurt Bowerly. That right there, the 318.
Well, and that lead is going to be huge. He was able to get away from that incident. Currently sitting on almost an 8-second lead over his brother.
Ooh, I wonder if that's enough, though. Paul is on a rail.
Yeah, Paul, he'll charge hard. He really will.
Through the Air Force flyaway with 3.5 laps to go here in the Pro-Am Plus 30 final.
Paul a little more youthful. Takes and pushes the envelope a little more maybe than what Kurt does.
I saw them yesterday as I was making my way into the track, and they tried to hold me up, told me I didn't have a pass.
The Bowerleys?
Yeah, they told me I wasn't allowed.
Were they laughing at you or what?
They're bigger than me. I didn't laugh at all. I just said, you're welcome. Into lap traffic, Kurt Bowerly.
Stays
Paul
inside.
Bowerly, by the way, cut a second off the lead there on that last lap.
Yeah, he ran 31.581. He's about a second, 1.3 seconds faster that last lap than his older brother.
Into that turn.
Then you know there's a third brother too. That's Chad.
Over the Amsoil finish line. That must have been a fun house when they were growing up, huh? Literally a fun house, right?
And then the cousin Ross. Like I said,
yeah, that's right.
There were races when they were all in the same class, and you want to talk about law firm names. Bowerly, and Bowerly.
It's all Bowerly right now, and it has been since the stud boy hole shot. Kurt Bowerly out front. Paul Bowerly in second. David Blunt in third. Into the FXR final turn for the final time. Out of the Ram truck turn. Headed for the Amsoil finish line. And the flags will fly for Kurt Bowerly in the Pro-Am Plus 30 final. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the white flag, Mike. We still have another lap to go.
Yeah, he's in all kinds of lappers here, able to split through them.
Absolutely. There we go. Now he makes his way through. Wow, that got a little hairy for him for a moment there between those two lappers. Over the Air Force flyaway. All right, I already gave him the checkers once. I'm going to give it to him again, all right? Now out of the Ram corner and headed for the Amsoil finish line. And this time the flag will fly. And Kurt Bowerly will win as the flames fly this time for Kurt Bowerly. And he will win the Pro-Am Plus 30 final. Paul Bowerly does hang on for second and headed for the Amsoil finish line as well out of the final turn. The third and final spot on the podium will go to David Blunt, just ahead of Patrick Brodeur.
Let's meet the top three in the Pro-Am Plus 30 final. In third place on the number 138 sled. Give it up for David Blunt.
Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, oh!
Tell David he's got to sway up there, dance a little bit. There you go. Got to dance a little, Dave. Give me a dance, Dave. No. In second place on the number 24 Skidoo. Second place goes to Paul Bowerly. That was a good job, Dave. And your winner on the number 318 Skidoo, the proud new father whose newborn is here watching. It's not. Oh, okay. Is Kurt Bowerly. Let's go down to Josie, who's with our top three.
Third place finisher, David Blunt. David, you were having some differences with the other riders. You were battling it out. Why don't you talk about that and how the rest of the race went for you?
Oh, well, I just, you try and pick your line, and hopefully nobody gets in your way. And once they get in your way, you try and pick a different one. That's about it.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
Decent Truck Service in Colby, DNA Body Shop, Wolf Brothers Sawmill, R&D Designs, Cherokee Garage. I know there's a whole bunch I forgot, and thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Congratulations. And over in second place, we have Paul Bowerly. I wanted to make sure I got that right because you guys look identical. Tell me a little bit about what it is like racing against your brother.
Well, it's really frustrating and difficult, but awesome at the same time. I mean, we've been doing it our whole lives, and we're overly competitive people. So it's fun and it's frustrating when you're on the losing end, but it's always good to be beat by your brother and not somebody else too. So, I mean, it's definitely good and bad.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
I just got to thank my whole team, my wife, my parents, my cousins Nate and Bree for getting the truck out here, even though they sat in a truck stop to get it fixed for a day. And all of our sponsors, Digital Link, Fly, Amsoil, Western Power. I mean, everybody that's been behind us. It's been years of those same people supporting us, and it's just amazing.
Congratulations. And on the top of the box, we have Kurt Bowerly. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what gave you the edge tonight?
Well, things have been changing all weekend. Obviously, yesterday we got a ton of snow, lightning delay. I've been racing a lot of years, and I've never seen that, so that was different. But the snow was super thick. We got that down yesterday with the Pro Light Riders. Today the snow dried out. It's just like flour, so we didn't do so hot earlier on, but we figured it out real quick, and that's where our experience comes in. Nailed the whole shot with the new setup, but it wasn't so great on the track, so just held on as hard as I could and worked out well, and it was a fun day.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
I just want to thank the family, everyone that came out, the team, because they worked their butt off. My wife Jory and Grace at home, I know they're watching, so hi. And then just all the sponsors, WPS, Fly, Scott, HMK, Amsoil, Digital Link, Murphy Chevrolet, everyone else that helps us out. I want to thank Crystal over here for taking some pretty cool photos, and everyone else I forgot.
Congratulations. That was a Pro-Am Plus 30. We have more exciting races coming your way.
We are going to be going green very shortly. Green we go! Oh, hard charge. Carson Berry. What a hole shot. Out front and away he goes. Carson Berry, your early leader. Oh, and your leader's off. Your leader's off. Didn't pull his tether. Able to get going again, but it's going to drop him back probably about 6-8 positions. So now up front, it's going to be Creighton Dillon and Cameron Cole doing battle. Man, what a tough break for your leader. We'll see how far back Barry goes. But your new leader, boy, this guy is born into luck, I'll tell you. Cameron Cole out front, 7:47. Goes across the Amsoil finish line. Right behind him now, Reese Bowman. Zimmerman sitting in third. Tucker Holla moves up to fourth. Just one position off a podium finish. Yellow flag, problems after the finish line. And there is your race leader, Cameron Cole. Last lap ran a 48.859. This is the battle for third. That would be the 178 of Aiden Zimmerman and Tucker Holla from Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. Boy, Tucker made the move, able to make the pass there. Tucker did not qualify well. Had a problem in his first round of qualifying, but yet qualified, I believe, 7th here in this final. No, your picture is not black and white. Tucker Holla's Geek Squad Artie Cat is black and white. And gray. It's such a weird shot. Looks like it's part monochrome. Part of it is in color. Meanwhile, back up front, Cameron Cole works his way around. Boy, did he find a break when your race leader came off. And the 158 right now, Carson Berry, who is your #1 qualifier and your leader, sitting in 5th, has worked his way back up.
Been a long day for these racers. In fact, earlier tonight, if I'm not mistaken, Cameron Cole had his first podium in, I believe, the transition 8 to 10-year-old class.
Really?
Into the turn he goes. Again, it's Cole and Bowman, and Tucker Holla, your top three.
Yeah, he looks over his shoulder just to see where everybody's at. They work on 1 lap left to go. The white flag is out.
Through the Air Force flyaway. Half a lap to go for Cameron Cole. And he is fast everywhere we go. Into the FXR turn he goes. And down the stretch comes Cameron. The flags are up and the flames will fly in Michigan as Cameron Cole takes the win in the Champ 120 class. Fingers in the sky for Cameron Cole. Reese Bowman will come across in second, and Tucker Holla will hang on for the third and final podium spot. Aiden Zimmerman in fourth, and Carson Berry comes across in fifth. Coming in third, a hard-fought race and his way to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Holla. Finishing second tonight in Mount Pleasant, Michigan in the 120 Champ class. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Reese Bowman. Congratulations, Reese. And our winner tonight in round 12 in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram, the 747 of Cameron Cole. Big smiles and knuckles all around. Let's head down to Josie Christian with our winners.
Third place finisher, Tucker Holla. Tucker, that was some crazy racing going on out there. Talk me through it a little bit and how you got up on this third place position.
Well, I just held my line.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
Subway, my mom, my dad, my brother, Ken Micro, Beat Squad, Streetworks, Fly, Fox.
Congratulations. And over in second place, we have Reese Bowman. Reese, this is your first time on the podium in this class this year. Tell me a little bit about how you're feeling and what thoughts are going through your mind right now.
Great, I've been wanting to be up here all year and I got it, so I'm happy.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
My mom, my dad, Trenton, watching at home, Martinsons for letting us racing out of trailer. Mom and Dad, God for keeping us safe, fans for watching us, Fly Racing, EVS, Stud Boy, Timberwolf Lodge, Ladder Lakes Resort, Grandma and Grandpa, and everybody who helped out the team.
Congratulations. And in first place, we have Cameron Cole. Cameron, this is your third time on the podium tonight. This weekend has been amazing for you. Tell me a little bit about your weekend and how you're feeling going out of it.
My weekend is feeling really awesome because I just got on the box a lot of times and have a lot of friends here to race with.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
My mom and dad, brother, sister, Total Wellness Chiropractic, FXR, Total Wellness. Huge thanks to Jesse and Kenny for working on my sled. PlayStation Company, Sport Tech, CM, Ryan Springer, Andrew Carlson, Jesse for helping me, just everybody.
Congratulations. That was the 120 Champ 6 to 12 class. Back up to you guys for more racing.
Let's get it in the starter's hands and see what happens.
Yeah, and right on the inside of him is Tim Tremblay, your points leader.
And they're racing! And, oh my goodness,
Hibbert
Tucker
again.
Hibbert, the stud boy hole shot. And here comes Cam, though. Right on his tail, right beside his teammate. And the teammates get together, but there's Tim Tremblay as well.
Yeah, Tremblay taking the inside. Oh, he was almost even with Tucker there for a second.
Tucker almost went off the track.
He did. He took a lot of speed into that corner. Now look at Tremblay. Tremblay charges on the inside. Tucker exactly where he wants to be out front. Got good visibility. Let's see if he checks out again.
Every point matters, and Tucker knows that. These heat races do matter, and he's out front right now.
He already has 5 bonus points for winning his first round qualifier. Let's see if he can add to it with another 5 and make it a 10-point sweep.
It's Hibbert, it's Tremblay, it's Narsa, and then Cody Cam, and then Adam Renheim, Kyle Polite, and Andrew Carlson. Tremblay needs to make a statement right now because Tucker Hibbert is on a rail. The T-Train is running fast tonight. Here comes Tremblay.
Boy, Tim staying right with him, and you know what? Peter Narsa and Cam, they in tow too.
Let's see what happens. We've got plenty of race left. 7 laps to go, and the T-Train is on the point.
There's that skidoo sweep, then they'll come back down, transition into the corner, and then through the back part of the racetrack, that U.S. Air Force flyaway.
Outside
aim
lane,
high.
that's right. Outside lane for Tremblay that time. Now outside to inside, and he made up some ground on Tucker that time around.
Let's watch. It was about 0.8 of a second last time around this racetrack. There's the Amsoil finish line. He was able to put another 10th on it.
You're right. But there he is again. Tremblay right to the tail of Tucker Hibbert.
Boy, he's fast in some parts of this racetrack. He really is able to catch Tucker there, and he's right behind him right now.
Wow, we are watching racing at its best in snowcross right now. Your points leader and your 10-time champion battling it out in a qualifier here in Michigan.
You watch him, I kind of wonder, you've seen Tim go inside of that part of the racetrack. That doesn't seem to be quite as fast as what Tucker's doing. He'll experiment with lines here, but boy, he's been right on his tail here most of this race.
Hibbert continues to lead. Tremblay right on his tail. Then Narsa, Cam,
Watch
and
this,
Pauline.
inside, outside. Nope, nothing there.
Through that Air Force flyaway, Tucker to the inside, Tremblay to the outside. Tremblay cuts in at the FXR turn.
And here's where he makes up some ground on the back part of the racetrack.
Over the Amsoil finish line. Continues to be about almost a second lead for Tucker over Tremblay.
Yeah, their lap times just about identical, about 0.15 of a second the difference.
Inside line again in that turn for Tremblay as Tucker takes the outside. They head through the Air Force flyaway. Tucker into the FXR turn. Tremblay tries to reel him in, can't do it there. The 10-time champion over the Amsoil finish line. We've got 3 laps to go in Michigan.
Put another 4/10 on, so Tucker running very solid here. Knows that Tim's behind him, probably has taken a peek, sees that he's there, or even maybe heard him as he was closer there for a while. Stepped it up just a bit. Now it's about 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, he was experimenting for lines there for a while, but not anymore. Now he says, let's separate a bit, and then we'll get back to looking around a little bit. The 68 is out front. We've seen it so many times. In fact, 125 times in features for Tucker Hibbert. Right now he's out front in this Pro Open qualifier, just in front of Tim Tremblay. And there's Peter Narsa and Cody
you got
Cam.
a couple of teammates going back and forth. Only about 0.7 of a second separate those two. Narsa sitting in third, Cody Cam in fourth. There's Cam.
Look at him. And I heard an interesting thing from the man who owns the team of both of those racers, Nate Hinchis, last night. Talked about how these two raced so much when they were not teammates in Pro Light that he just had to hire Peter Narsa because he had to put them on the same team before they hurt each other. Nate Hinchis got to be smiling right now until that moment, though, when Cody Cam goes off the racetrack, and here comes Kyle Pauline.
Yeah, Pauline, I think, was just a little bit too far back to capitalize on Cody's mistake there. Matter of fact, look at Cody. He right over once again behind Peter Narsa. Checkered flags out. Tucker Hibbert going to take the win.
That's right. Tucker Hibbert will take the win. Tim Tremblay goes in second, and Peter Narsa will hold off his teammate, Cody Cam, for third place. Then Kyle Pauline in fifth. Adam Ridheim in sixth, and Andrew Carlson will come across in seventh. But Tucker Hibbert with a strong statement once again right there, holding off your current points leader for that Pro Open qualifier win. And they're racing in Michigan. What a start for Corin Todd, the stud boy, whole shot to the front.
Boy, and we've seen that a number of times this year. He gets out front, but he's been kind of snake bit lately. In round number 11, he broke a track in qualifying, which is really unheard of. But now looks to be out front and very solid here. Round 12, round 2 qualifying.
Mike, he's out like a light, and when things go right for him, Corin Todd has been so fast as of late. Look at the battle going for second, though. That's the veteran himself, Ross the Boss Martin, in second on the 837, but right behind him, the young gun that is Lincoln Lemieux.
Yeah, Lemieux right behind Ross, just looking for an opportunity to try to get a ski underneath, make a pass. But as you indicated, Martin being the veteran that he is, he's going to cover those lines probably better than any of the race drivers out here.
Right behind them is Ryan Springer, dealing with a little bit of an injured body, but still running very, very fast out here tonight. Lemieux looks to the inside of Martin. Can he make a move here?
He's got the inside position, a little bit of speed there. Clean racing. Nope, he decided to let him go. That's good clean racing.
It absolutely is. Let's remember, this is a Pro Open qualifier. If this were the feature, that might not have happened.
No, he would have pushed the issue a lot harder than he did right here.
So Ross Martin gets away just a bit for the moment on Lincoln Lemieux, and we see Ryan Springer starting to get invited to the battle as well. And just for a second, you saw that blue sled of Elias Ischel, who might be a part of this as well in a moment. And here comes Lincoln again.
And Ischel has been struggling, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do right here. Trying to get around the sled of Ryan Springer. Ischel sitting in fifth, Springer in fourth. If you remember in round one qualifying, jumped the gun, got put in the back of the field, wasn't able to capitalize, did not have a good finish.
So it's Corin Todd, who's 3 seconds ahead of Lemieux, Ross Martin, and then Ryan Springer and Elias Ischel, fourth and fifth. Meanwhile, back up front, there's the 13 of Lincoln Lemieux running second right now. The U.S. Air Force AMSOIL sled, very, very fast. Both of those sleds, Tim Tremblay, his teammate, and Lincoln Lemieux, have been fast all weekend long here in rounds 11 and 12. Inside line to the extreme there for the 13 sled of Lincoln Lemieux.
Boy, and once Lincoln got around Ross, he just kind of left him there. Martin sitting a couple of seconds behind now of Lincoln Lemieux.
Corin Todd out front of Lincoln Lemieux. That's the 36 sled. Corin from Otsego, New York. Out of the FXR turn, over the AMSOIL finish line. He'll have 4 laps to go in this AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier. He takes that extreme line again inside there.
Yeah, that green flag continues to fly as he goes through all that little skidoo uphill. Then squares, comes through the back part of the racetrack. The Arctic Cat transition into the U.S. Air Force flyaway. Looking really smooth.
Very solid run for Corin Todd. Heads for the AMSOIL finish line once again. 3 laps to go in this AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier. Just for a second, you saw Lemieux into your screen. Outside line for Corin Todd. Heads for the Air Force Flyway. You see the snow blowing across the racetrack. A completely different situation from round 11, where it rains straight down for most of the night. 24 hours later, it's round 12, and it feels like snowcross again. 2 laps to go for Corin Todd on the 36. You see Lemieux behind him now. Lincoln's reeled him in. The lead is only a second and a half now for Corin Todd over Lincoln Lemieux. And there's the boss, Ross Martin, just for a second on your screen. Headed for the Air Force Flyaway. Into the FXR turn. Mike, he'll make his way out of this turn. The white flag should fly for Corin Todd.
Got Todd looking smooth. Just very consistent. Good lines, got good control of his sled. Letting his body be one with the snowmobile. Finding great lines around this racetrack. Could be flag to flag win here for Corin Todd.
Headed for the Air Force Flyaway for the final time now in this Pro Open qualifier. Skipping like a rock and looking very, very fast in the FXR final turn. Headed towards the AMSOIL finish line. The checkers will fly. The win will go to Corin Todd in the AMSOIL Pro Open qualifier.
Pretty dominating finish for him, too. About 2.5 seconds over Lincoln Lemieux. Lemieux will take second. Ross Martin in third. Ryan Springer finishes fourth. Elias Ischel in the fifth. And Brett Nastala in sixth.
Tucker Hibbert came to party tonight.
Yes, he did.
Wow, was he fast.
How many times have we seen that this year where he hasn't had a good round on a Friday night, but Saturday night's come back strong?
Ooh, you better believe it. Hey, we've got an LCQ. We've got 12 sleds trying to make their way to the final. Only 5 of them will be continuing on. The rest of them are done for the weekend, Mike.
Oh, this is huge. Muller, Adams, Johnstead, Blanchard, Anderson. Big, and Zach Mason taking a provisional. He had to take a provisional to get in here.
And he's going to have to take a lot of positions to make it into the final. Once again, only 5 sleds make the race. Andrew Lindholm, Tyler Adams, Corbin Anderson, James Johnstead, Ian Buckman right now your top 5. But we just took the green. Plenty of racing to go.
And the same thing stands true for Kevin Wallenstein. he had to take a provisional to get into the LCQ. So those two guys started 11 and 12th. They got a lot of work to do in a very short period of time to get into this final.
Will set the field as they hit that AMSOIL finish line. Right now, it's Lindholm, it's Tyler Adams, it's Corbin Anderson, it's James Johnstead, and Max Telfer is in 5th. Zach Mason
sitting in 6th place.
on the outside looking in at the moment, but there's bumping and banging right in front of Zach, and that time I saw Telfer go around Telfer, I should say, opening the door for Zach Mason. And there's your bubble right there, and I believe Zach Mason did get around Johnstead.
Yeah, that's Telfer right in front of him. So, you know, you take a look at that. If that is what's the case, then that would put, Max in 4th, and Zach Mason is in the final right now.
That's right.
He is on the bubble.
So it's Lindholm, Adams, Anderson, Telfer, and Mason right now that are in the final, but Travis Muller's not done. He wants that spot back, and he looks to the inside of Zach Mason right now.
He's sizing him up. Doesn't have a lot of time to make a decision as to what he's going to try to do here. He's just going to have to go for it. That's what happens in LCQs. You're limited in laps, and you've got to make a move fast. It's like a dash.
1 lap to go in the Pro Light LCQ. He won the race last night. He's gonna try to make it even to the final tonight to make the back row. If he's gonna do it, Zach Mason's gotta hold his spot for a half a lap more. It's Mason and Muller and Poyer trying to find their way around him right now as they make their way through the Air Force flyaway. A bit of a bobble for Mason. And here comes Muller.
Muller right there.
Inside. But Mason will pull it out and go across the AMSOIL finish line in the 5th spot. So it's Lindholm, Adams, Anderson, Telfer, and Mason to the final. Travis Muller, the last man on the outside looking in. Let's see what happens. We're about to go green in this final. And they are racing, and Alina Omen with the stud boy hole shot right to the front. Oh, a rider off her sled. That might have been one of the Farmers. I couldn't quite tell, but the 170's out front.
Yeah, and right behind, I think Jackie Farmer right behind her. So that possibly could have been Marky Farmer, because we see some of those drivers starting to score down on our telemetry. But Alina Omen out front, yes, right from the get-go.
So fast everywhere we go. Alina Omen.
That is Jackie Farmer right behind.
And Anna Hauger right behind her. And then Maylene Anderson and Sierra Beckerlig, your top 5 right now. Over the AMSOIL finish line. Omen almost 2-second lead over Farmer, then Maylene right there, 1 second behind Jackie Farmer.
Boy, now Melina was able to get around the Anna Hauger, so Melina sitting on the podium in 3rd place. But your race leader, Omen, already with a 1.7-second lead over the rest of the field.
Out of that ram turn. This is your battle for 2nd right there. And it's Farmer and Anderson, I believe. Let's see as we see that AMSOIL finish line. Yeah, Farmer still ahead of Maylene Anderson for 2nd and 3rd. And the 93 of Maylene Anderson gets around Jackie Farmer. And we've got a new 2nd place rider. Omen, Farmer, Anderson. The 93 of Anderson in 2nd. Farmer right behind her, the 405, not letting her get away completely yet. As Maylene starts to focus on Alina Omen, your leader. Headed for the AMSOIL finish line. Another lap in the books. 4 to go for Alina Omen. So Omen, Anderson, Farmer, then Inanna Hauger in 4th. Amanda Dutzman in 5th. Jennifer Martell, 6th.
Then you have Tatum Hacks in 7th. Marky Farmer, Tasha Lang, Megan Brodeur, Sierra Beckerleg, and Jolene Van Vaught having some issues pulling off the racetrack. Tough break for the Canadian driver trying her hand at snowcross racing here this weekend.
Alina Omen looks over her left shoulder for a moment. Sees Maylene right there behind her. Another lap in the books. 3 to go for Alina Omen here in Michigan. Into some lap traffic. Trying to get around Tasha Lang without slowing up too much. Goes to the inside. Makes the pass there.
Boy, that's the best thing that Melina could hope for, is that, as Alina trying to make the pass, that she gets checked up a bit. But able to work through out front again.
Into the FXR turn. Heads for the AMSOIL finish line. And this will be 2 laps to go here in our Pro-Am Women Final. At the top of the turn, and you see right in front of her, in front of Alina, 2 racers right there. So heavy traffic in front of Alina.
Yeah, a couple of breaths too. So they will take and try to get through that area.
And you see her dealing with the traffic right now, headed for that AMSOIL finish line. Now this, over the AMSOIL finish line, will be the white flag lap, but look at this. Wow, great move from Alina. Right around that slower traffic right there. One more sled in front of her there to her left. Heads for the Air Force flyaway for the final time.
There you see that blue flag waving, that letting the drivers ahead of her know that, you know what, the leaders are coming through. Make way for them. Give them some room to get around you.
Through the FXR final turn, still in that heavy traffic, headed for the AMSOIL finish line. The flames and flags will fly for Alina Ullman here in the Pro-Am Women Final in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Maylene Anderson also got stuck in some of that traffic. She finishes about 5.5 seconds behind Alina Ullman. A second place finish for Melina, and then Jackie Farmer will hang on for the 3rd and final spot. They're ready to hand out the hardware down there. Look at that Ram truck. Looks so good in the snow. I thought it looked good in the mud, even better in the snow. Mike, would you please give these well-deserving ladies the hardware they so richly deserve?
Sure can. Let's give out the trophies for the top 3 here in the Pro-Am women's class. In 3rd place out of Medford, Wisconsin, racing for Fort Fremont Marine, Fly, Polaris, CNA Pro Ski, and also for 32. On the number 405 Polaris 3rd place, Jackie Farmer. In 2nd place, out of Vadsø, Norway, for Franel & Company's FXR, Artie Cat Speedworks Spy, and for Fox Shocks. On the number 93 Artie Cat, 2nd place goes to Maylene Anderson. And your winner from Elsvin, Sweden for Davis Racing, Polaris BASF. Linden Oil and Tri-State Filter. On the number 170 Polaris, your winner, Alina Ullman. Let's go down to Josie Christian.
Jackie Farmer, our 3rd place finisher. Let's talk a little bit about your brother and sister. How do they help you out when you're coming onto the track?
Oh, they support me so much. My brother, he's a huge supporter. He's always up there at the start with me. Marky, we're always trying to think of plans, ways to do things better on the track. It's a lot of fun with them.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank my family. They're my biggest supporters. My dad, my mechanic, my mom at home, all my brothers, my sisters. I'd like to thank Fort Fremont, Jeff Thompson, Fly, Polaris, Brad Benji Jr., 999 Optics, CNA Pro Ski and Power Mad, and everyone else who supports me.
Congratulations. And in 2nd place, we have Maylene Anderson. Maylene, you did not start out right in the front. Talk to me about all those passes you were making throughout the track.
Yeah, it's very hard to pass on this track. I've been trying all day because I've been having a bad start. I've been slow, so I've been using the day to learn how to pass people. And yeah, in the final, I just came through and passed everyone.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
I would like to thank my team, Fraddle Racing, my family, mom, dad, sister, boyfriend, all my sponsors back home, and a huge thank to my coach, Camilla, for making me the best shape ever. And FXR, Spy, EVS, Fox, and everyone else I forgot. Thank you.
Congratulations. And on top of the box, we have Alina Ullman. Alina, talk to me a little bit about the snow. It's a lot different than it was yesterday, creating the track to be a lot different. So talk me through the track a little bit and how you felt riding out there.
Yeah, it was definitely different today. It's colder weather, so the snow is more loose today, but I liked it. But it's hard to pass on this track too, but I was up in the front right away, so I'm happy.
Anyone you'd like to thank that helped you tonight?
My team, Davis Racing, Polaris, Walker Evans, my mechanic, Rob Mason, Woody, CNA Pro Skis, Henches Racing, my family and my boyfriend, and everyone else who helps me. Thank you.
Congratulations. That was the Pro-Am Women Final.
And they're racing in Michigan. Wow, it's too close to call. I'd give the stud boy hole shot to the 139 of Jake Giesman, but I'm not sure.
Watch him as
and
they
I
come down
believe
into
that
the
sled
corner.
went off the racetrack.
That's Whitwer out front. It's not. Whitwer in second. It is Giesman out front.
That's right. Somebody went off the racetrack back there, but Giesman got away quick.
So Giesman out front, Trent Whitwer sitting in second place.
I wonder, Mike, if he might have gone off the racetrack and missed the scoring at the AMSOIL finish line.
Well, let's pay close attention to our telemetry.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Yes, he got the black flag.
He got DQ'd right there.
Well, or he got told to go back in the field, not necessarily DQ'd.
Okay, let's see what happens here, Mike. So he got the stud boy hole shot, the red sled in the middle.
Giesman right there.
Stays on the sled.
There's one sled off.
There you go, off the racetrack. Right. So there you go. So that's why they're putting him back. We'll see how far they put him back. I'm not sure who that was laying on their back there. But that would make the leader Trent Whitwer.
That was Thielen.
Now let me tell you a little bit of something about Trent Whitwer. This kid's fast, especially on a motocross bike as well. I spoke to him for a while in Deadwood about the summers that he spends on a motocross bike, and I asked him, honestly, what do you like more? He said, give me either one, let's go for it. He's very fast. That young man is out front right now in the FXR Sport class, just in front of Hunter Patnode and Jake Giesman, your top three right now.
Keeping an eye on how they move things forward and backward here.
There you go.
So
now,
Giesman sitting third, right.
Right. And that's the battle for third between Stoffel and Giesman right now. And Giesman takes it over the AMSOIL finish line. So we'll set the field now with 6 laps to go. Whitwer, Patnode, and Giesman, then Stoffel, Love, and Kearns.
Well, that was a pretty gnarly move that Jake had there. He was on the high side, and then he crossed back over in midair. Landed hard. That gave Stoffel an opportunity to make a move, and I got a feeling Stoffel's going to get around him.
Not that time. Boy, I tell you what, just as you were saying that, Giesman got on the gas and got away. Here comes your lead, though. And suddenly, Whitwer's got his hands full with Hunter Patnode. Big air from Hunter Patnode to the outside. Can he make the move in the turn? Oh, what a square-off move that was. That was awesome.
Patnode on the Skidoo. He was your #1 qualifier out of Heartland, Vermont, racing for Ingles Performance, a big performance company out on the East Coast. Skidoo 999 goggles and fly.
Wow.
Boy, checked out by.
Man, Hunter Patnode right there with one of the better square-off move passes I've seen on a snowmobile. That was textbook stuff.
He squared hard.
He sure did. So Hunter Patnode is your leader. Did something happen to Trent Whitwer? No, something must be wrong with our scoring, I would guess.
We'll watch here.
Yeah, we'll set the field for you. But again, your leader is Hunter Patnode.
There's a yellow. Who's down in the corner?
I'm not sure. There's
That's
two
Woody.
sleds right there.
Woody is one of them.
And your leader negotiates the sleds. Let's set the field for you here as I hit that AMSOIL finish line with 1 lap to go. Patnode way out front now. Boggs hard in the turn, but he's fine. Then it looks like Jake Giesman in second and AJ Stoffel in third. Down the stretch he comes. Half a lap to go for your leader. Hunter Patnode out of Heartland, Vermont, into the FXR final turn. Heads by the Ram sign. And heads for the checkers. The flames and flags will fly for Hunter Patnode in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. The win to the 208. Jake Giesman will come, no, I should say Trent Whitwer will come across in second, and then Jake Giesman in third. So it's Patnode, Whitwer, and Giesman 1, 2, 3, with AJ Stoffel in fourth and Brady Love in fifth. Then Adam Peterson, Grant Glasshagle, Brian Peterson, Taylor Cole, and Francis Peltier, your top 10, Mike.
All right, drivers have their helmets off, and winner's circle is abuzz. Let's hand out some hardware to the top 3 finishers here in the FXR Sport Final. Third place, little trouble early on, but comes back to take that third position out of Cadillac, Michigan, racing for Polaris. Also, Giesman Excavating and Landscaping in Walker Evans Shocks. On the 139 Polaris, Jake Giesman.
Come on, can I dream for one day? There's nothing that can't be done.
In second place from Bemidji, Minnesota, for Artie Cat Fly Racing, Digital Inc., Speedworks, and also Bemidji Chrysler Center. On the number 115, Artie Cat, second place, Fred Whitworth.
Got to be another level, so well, closer to the other side. And I'm feeling like it's now or never. Can I break the spell?
And taking first place on a skidoo out of Heartland, Vermont for Ingles Performance. 999 Goggles, Fly, DP Brakes, and 139 Design. On the number 208 skidoo, Hunter Patnode. Again, let's head down to Josie Christian.
You guys, I'm with third place finisher Jake Giesman. Jake, tell me about that start and what happened and what was going through your mind.
My Polaris ripped an awesome start, and I think a bunch of people got into the back of me and pushed me off the track, and I guess I had to drop back 3 positions in order to continue, so I did that, and dropped back to 4th, and then got the pass for 3rd, and here I am on the box.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
First and foremost, my mechanic Austin, my girlfriend Haley, my mom and dad, my sister Jessica, everybody at Polaris, Tom Rieger Jr., Ben Hayes, Brad, everybody from Walker Evans, Bob and Kyle, Airho Enterprises, Eastman Excavating and Landscaping, FXR, Active Chiropractic of Cadillac, Rock Speed FX, Fly Racing, Stud Boy, and I'd also like to give a shout out to my buddy Kevin Wallenstein. He got landed on tonight. He's a Michigan local, and it sucks to see people get hurt, so hope he heals up quick and gets back out here.
Yes, we all hope he heals. Congratulations on your third place finish tonight. And over in second, we have Trent Whitworth. Trent, you were ripping in the start. Talk about that and your mindset on that start line.
My biggest thing I've been working on is just get a good start. I know if I get a good start, I can stay up front, and that's what we did. But Hunter was just a little bit faster tonight, so we're going to go home and work on some things and hopefully put it all together next weekend.
Who would you like to thank for your win tonight?
I'd like to thank my dad. He's been busting his butt all year long, and it's finally paying off, starting to get things clicking. My grandpa, all the Patton family, they've been helping me out a lot this year, so big thanks to them. Articat, Speedworks, Stud Boy, Fox Shocks, Scenic Pro Skis, Fly Racing, Oakley, my trainer John, Bemidji Chrysler Center, Ram, Digital Inc., and everybody else, thank you very much.
Congratulations. And on top of the box, we have Hunter Patnode. You made a very clean pass on Trent Whitworth tonight. What was going through your mind, and what were you thinking throughout that whole race and just to get on top tonight?
I knew I set myself up with a pretty good start. We've been struggling with those all day, and I happened to get lucky, and I got the cut underneath everybody, but I got up into second, and I saw Trent, and there was 2 laps, and I wasn't making up any ground on him, and I couldn't figure out why, and then I finally started gaining on him a little bit, and I just barely caught a little berm in that corner, and it just able to take me all the way around it. So.
Who would you like to thank tonight?
My mom, my dad, my mechanic and trainer Jake. He's done so much for me. Robin Ingles, my girlfriend Mike Ingles, Ingles Performance, XPS, Skidoo, 999 Designs, Fly Racing, 139 Designs, CTI knee braces. Everybody's helped me out so much, and hopefully I can keep it rolling this year. So,
congratulations. That was your sport final. Back up to you guys in the booth.